Hello everyone, welcome to episode 81 of this awesome, amazing Osu Let's Play series. In the last episode, I talked about the development side of Osu and how you can get involved in that. And in this episode, I want to talk about the Osu World Cups. So this is something that's very relevant at the moment, actually, because we are in the midst of the Osu World Cup 2021. But I would like to talk about sort of how those tournaments started and mostly my own thoughts on them. There are some other videos out there that I will link in the description that go into the history in a lot of detail, so you can check those out if you're interested. But this video is largely just going to be my thoughts and my experiences with the World Cup. So before I get into any of that stuff, I'd like to shout out as usual that I live stream every single day over at twitch.tv. So that will be linked in the description. But if you want to hang out with me or watch me play this game live or ask me questions or anything like that, please check out my streams. That's linked in the description. Stop by, say hello. And also, bonus points if you tell me that you came from this Let's Play series. We will be very happy to see you there. So with that said, the Osu World Cup is basically this annual tournament where you play for your country. So it's a team tournament. It is teams of 8 players and is a 4 versus 4. Didn't used to always be like that, but basically ever since like the third, I think, or maybe even second iteration, it has been in that format. I think in the first few tournaments it was like two players and like 2 backup players or something like that. It was very small, okay? And actually the Osu World Cup started as a community tournament. It wasn't really super official, but it was this really popular community tournament. And then Osu staff was like, you know what? We can do something with this little World Cup idea. I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, that is pretty much how that happened. Why am I hitting early? Oh shoot. Wait, I'm actually gonna die. Wait. Oh shoot. Oh my, wait, what is this map? Oh, what? What's with this game? What's going on? HP 7. HP 7. Alright. We're taking no fail. Okay. Speaking of no fail, by the way, alright, here's something about the World Cup, okay? I think I've talked about this before in like just general tournament rule set thoughts, but tournaments, and you can check out my previous episode where I talked about tournaments in a more general sense as well. But tournaments ultimately are about 2 teams, right? And then the better performing team is the one that should get the point on any given map. And the health system in this game does not represent your performance on a map. And so up until 2019, so yeah, before the World Cup 2019, that was not really a take that was, or I guess viewpoint that was taken by the official hosts of the Osu World Cup. So the World Cup up until 2009, wait, okay, when did Locktab leave? I don't remember, 2018 or 2019. So this community member, this big staff dude named Locktab, he was the sort of original host of the World Cup, or at least main organizer for most of the relevant years of the World Cup. And he's known for a lot of other things as well in the community. He's not as active as he used to be, but yes, Locktab with his fairly adamant viewpoints on, you know, keeping things organized and things like that. He had this viewpoint, actually, I don't know, I think he was just sort of, I don't want to say resistant to change, but like he definitely had his own way of doing things, and that sometimes involved not completely being like pro player, not like professional player, but like you know, for the players, I guess, if that makes sense. So you would have a lot of like rule sets that were disagreed with by the general player base, but it's like, oh well, you know, Octav, he's just a little dude who's got his own way of doing things. So failed scores was one of those things, okay? For the longest time, the general like tournament community hosting world was like, oh, health, if your health goes to 0, isn't that so exciting for the player or for the viewers of the tournament? It's like, oh, the player just failed the map and got 0 points for their team, even though they nearly full combo the map. That's so enticing and really just riveting. Keeps people on the edge of their seat, you know? Well, you know, you're watching a map and a team is definitely performing better. And oh, what's this? A stupid pattern at the end of the map and everyone on the winning team fails it? Oh, yeah, they really don't deserve the win anymore. That's just, yeah, the worst performing player, I think, worst performing team definitely deserves a win on this one. They really hit that last pattern of the map, even though they did worse throughout the entire map. But thankfully, starting in, I think, 2019, that was not a thing anymore. And the hosts were like, alright, you know what? No fail. That's a good idea. And I was like, finally, no fail. But yes, okay, anyway, other things about, specifically about the World Cup is, so I guess I can talk about my experience with the World Cup and tryouts and things like that. So for most countries, they have to do what's called tryouts for their tournament team, for their World Cup team, because there's only 8 players that get on the team, despite the many players that are eligible to play. Oh, okay, eligibility, okay, for the World Cup is that you are top 5,000 in the global ranking, and then you can just sign up for the tournament. There's like this wiki page or whatever, some like page on the OSU website. You just click this button and it's like, okay, yep, you are registered now. And if you really want to play the World Cup, you're gonna have to do more than just click that button. So what it really comes down to, I don't need no fail anymore, I think. So you have to do what's called tryouts, and you basically need to be engaged in your actual country's community to some extent. It helps a lot to have a basically track record of other tournaments that you've played in, so that you can show your country mates, I guess teammates, potential teammates, you know, the people making the team, that, you know, you're not super inexperienced, right? You've got your fair share of pop-offs in tournaments, and you have what it takes to play in the World Cup for your country. So most top players from your country, either you should be able to message one when like OSU World Cup registration is happening, or usually people tweet about it. Actually, usually tryouts happen or start happening before registration even comes out, because by the time registration starts, registration's open for like 2 weeks or something, and then it's like you want your team to sort of already be decided by then, because registration being open for like 2 or 3 weeks, you don't have that much time to like organize tryouts and get everyone to sign up and then, you know, all that stuff, and then have them practice the maps for the tryout. It's a lot to do, right? So usually on social media or some like top players OSU profile, you should be able to find some information about your country's tryouts. But basically how most countries do tryouts is there's like a list of maps and you just sort of play through them in a multiplayer lobby, and based on how you did on them, your team will, based on how you performed on those maps, and then also sort of your past tournament experiences. Oh shoot, I almost didn't see that note. And then also, I guess, just like, it really depends on what your current team needs. And I have an episode about tournament team balance as well, if you're interested in that. So yes, check that out. But basically, yeah, so let me think of how to put this. So in my experience, okay, I can talk about my experience playing the World Cup. So 2017 was my first year playing the World Cup for the United States. And originally, okay, actually, my first like thought of like, or like the first time I really thought about like potentially making the World Cup team was in late 2016. I was playing a tournament with some like friends in like the 4-digit rank range, like rank 1000, and I had this player on my team named Beezer, who was formerly known as Ramen Otaku. He was a seasoned veteran in the tournament scene, especially compared to me. He had played in the OSU World Cup multiple times, and he mentioned to me in like like some random practice lobby for that tournament we were playing in, and he was like, he just like made some like random comment about like me playing on the World Cup team in like 2017, or like the next year, because that was during the 2016 World Cup, and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I definitely cannot make the World Cup team. But I don't know, I just like thought about it, and that was like the first time anyone had like suggested that to me. So it was very interesting. But fast forward, right? So I've sort of told this story already, I think, in this series, but basically I played this tournament with Apraxia in August of 2017. It was basically courses, but at the time it was called something else, called OHCA. And we, long story short, ended up winning that tournament. And the grand finals of courses 2017 sort of overlapped with the World Cup tryouts for the United States. And okay, so World Cup tryouts happened. I actually did pretty good. Okay, I did pretty well compared to a lot of the other people there. Like, I was definitely a strong contender for the team, but you know, a lot of people were either like unsure of putting me on the team, or like I think they like weren't really sure of my skill cap, which is basically like really like how hard of maps I would be able to play, like going into like finals or grand finals stages. Like, would I still be able to keep up with the map difficulty, which is fair because I was pretty low rank, you know, still being in the 4-digit rank range. I was like rank 1000. I was in the 1000s, so it was hard to really tell where my skill cap was. And there was another player, Monka2K. It's basically me and Mr. Monka. We were fighting for the last slots on the World Cup team, and there was this huge discussion. I'm pretty sure I've told this story in a previous episode as well, but you know, just to recap, to talk about the World Cup in particular. But the let's see. So long story short, Monko ended up sort of winning that discussion of like who should be on the team that year, and I didn't really mind that much. I was like, all right, you know what, this is motivation to keep getting better and play in the World Cup next year, right? So I was like, yep, go Monko. And then that decision was made, and then the team was finalized, and Vaxei was on that team. You know Mr. Vaxei, everyone knows Vaxei. And that decision was made, and then OHC 2017 Grand Finals happened, and it was my team against Vaxei's, and we ended up winning. And then Vaxei was having some hand issues at that time or something, and so after the decision was already made that I wouldn't be playing in the World Cup that year, then Vaxei messaged Toy, who was the captain that year. He was like, hey Toy, not really feeling that well in the world of Osu. I think Mr. DigitalHypno would be a good fit for the World Cup this year over me. And Toy was like, oh shoot, rip Vaxei. And then everyone was like, oh shoot, rip Vaxei. But then it was like, okay, let's go Habib. I'm like, yes, let's go. Not exactly how the conversation went, but that is effectively how it went. We ended up not winning the World Cup, by the way, because failed scores did not count. Yeah, there were many maps that we lost because we had higher team score, but some of our players' scores straight up did not count because failed scores counted as 0, and there were many maps in the finals map pool of the Osu World Cup 2017 that was like, oh yeah, this just really hard pattern at the very end of the map, and just difficulty spike, and you know, if you fail, you just get 0 points the whole map. And that plus technical issues plus some broken tendons, and that was an interesting time. So yeah, 2017 World Cup. So okay, so we had Happy Stick on our team, and he was like, I don't know how else to put this. He was really good, and then like, so he was like sort of the main content creator / live streamer of Osu, and he did this improvement month basically where he did like a bunch of interviews with top players and things like that to talk about improvement sort of in a general sense. And he really wanted to, you know, work on his skills and become better as an Osu player, and so he dedicated 1 month really specifically to improvement. And it actually really worked because he got so much better at this game like throughout that month. And I think he got like so good that he was like, okay, I don't know how else to put this. He was like hopped up on improvement and he was like, oh my god, all these maps I can play, finally, let's go. And he was like so addicted to Osu, and he like pulled an all-nighter. Like he was playing Osu so actively, and he just like played an all-nighter. He's playing Osu non-stop, and then like afterwards, he was like, a little bumpy on my tapping hand. Or like his tapping hand was swollen or something, and then like he went to get it checked out, and then it was like, oh, something about like his tendon broke or something like that, basically, and he was basically like out of the competition, so to speak. Okay, I don't know the exact phrase, but he was not really able to compete anymore. So we had a 7-man team going into the finals, and then okay, hardware issues that also happened in the 2017 World Cup. Okay, so Mr. Idki and his broken tablet pen. So Idki was also on the team, and he had some issues with his tablet pen. It was something about like the battery in his pen was like messed up or something, or like there's something like that. But then like apparently if he like taped the pen and like sort of kept it in place, then like it wouldn't act up. So his pen started acting up during the finals match, not grand finals, but just the winners finals. And he was like, oh shoot, this like pen thingy, I know what this is, don't worry guys. So like I think it like acted up and caused us to lose a map or something. But then he was one of our better players, right? So we didn't want to just bench him. But he was like, okay, I know what's happening, guys, don't worry. It's just my pen. If I just put tape on it, then you know it'll be fine. So then he went in for the next map, and his pen acted up again. And then he was like, oh shoot, I didn't put enough tape, I think I just put more tape on the pen, and it'll be fine, guys. So we were like, all right, Mr. Idki. So he, you know, put more tape on his pen, and it was like still acting up every now and then. And so it's like, I don't know. Okay, so there was that, and then there was also like failed scores. Like every now and then, there would just be a map, and 2 of us would fail. Okay, the thing about, I don't really know how this ended up happening, but every time there was a map that we got a failed score on in the 2017 World Cup, it was always 2 of us that would fail. I think the first instance of map failing that happened was a map called Amazing Break by Monstrata. It's just like with zigzag space stream at the end of the map. It's very easy to just, I don't know, miss the whole thing. Thank you, Notelock, by the way, awesome game mechanic. But 2 of our players, I think it was Toy and Pyrie, ended up failing that map. And okay, we had 6 points too, I'm pretty sure. Or we had like 5 points or something. And they had like 1. So, and it's first to 7. So we were like, okay, yeah, you know, it's not a big deal. We're literally just gonna win the match anyway. And then, yeah, hardware issues and just like random silly losses. And then all of a sudden the score was like 6-4. And then we're like, okay, wait, we have to actually make sure we don't lose. And then, okay, then there was another map where we failed, okay? Light of Nights, Hard Rock. That map is literally so rigged. Okay, okay, I will admit I was in for that map, and then I just failed. And so, okay, the winners finals, Night of Nights, it was like me and Apraxia who like failed at the end of the map. Like we were literally winning that map by like over 1 million points or something, and then we just like both failed the map, and then we lost by like so little. It's just so dumb. Okay, but anyway, it was like, oh my god, so troll. And yeah, so 2 failed maps where we literally would have won, and okay, there were also some maps where like Idki's pen acting up. I'm pretty sure there were like 2 maps where like he went in and he like his like underperformance due to his pen disconnecting like actually cost us the map also. So yeah, 2017, not a good year. We ended up losing that tournament by like, we lost that tournament by like so little with like everything, like with all the technical difficulties that were happening. Like we still ended up losing by so little, but okay, whatever. Like winners finals, we lost on tiebreaker with like 2 failed maps and like freaking disconnects and like, oh, okay, another thing. So freaking Apraxia's like internet service provider during like grand final, like the end of grand final. Okay, so Apraxia was actually, oh, okay, that's right. So Apraxia was the captain in 2017. Toy was making the team, right? So I mentioned that earlier. That he was the captain, but yeah, I forgot. He gave it to Apraxia. So Apraxia was actually the captain in 2017, and in grand finals, bracket reset. Wait. Oh yeah. Wait. I'm pretty sure we won. Oh, okay, yeah. So we came from losers bracket, right? So we lost the winners finals, and then we beat the United Kingdom in losers grand finals, and then we came back in. What is it? Came back in the from the losers bracket up to grand finals, and then we won the first match, pretty sure, and then we were playing bracket reset. Oh, wait, let me make sure I'm getting this right. Okay, Osu World Cup 2017 wiki. I'm pretty sure. All right. I know you guys can't see this, but oh shoot, challenge. Okay, you know what, whatever. I can't find it. I'm pretty sure we come from losers bracket and bracket reset. Okay, but basically, very end of the match, and the score was like 5-6, and we had to like decide the last map to play. And Apraxia's internet provider, or like some like ISP person, like came to visit their house and like reset Apraxia's Wi-Fi during the match, even though I think like Apraxia was like, I don't know, I think it was like his dad or something, that Apraxia was like, okay, make sure they don't come in during like XX time, like during the World Cup match, because don't reset my internet during the match. And then like towards the very end of the match, Apraxia just like DC'd, and we were like, oh dear. And we were like, okay, first of all, what do we pick? And then also, like, we have to pick something that Apraxia's not going to be in for. And wait, I'm pretty sure he DC'd at like, the score was like 5-5 or something. And then they picked some like streamy map. I actually ended up filling in for Apraxia on some map. We would have lost that map anyway, but yeah, you know, it's that was so sad. Okay, it's 2017, not a good year, but that was against Poland, by the way. I don't know if I ever said that. Yeah, that was against Poland in Grands, so they ended up winning. Whether or not they deserved it, you know what, they fought their hardest. Okay, you know what, they can't even be mad. Actually, you kind of can be, but you know, it's in the past. But yeah, that was a very unlucky year, 2017. But 2018 World Cup, that grand finals was, okay, so I played in 2018 again, right? That was against the United Kingdom, and I'm pretty sure we were coming from winners bracket that time. So we won in winners finals, and it was like, okay, we have bracket reset at least, so pretty sure we should be fine. Oh, but our goal in 2018 Grands was that like pretty much every time that United States got to grand finals, it always went to bracket reset. And our goal in 2018 was like, okay, let's make it not go to bracket reset this time. That would be awesome. And then it went to bracket reset on tiebreaker because okay, the freaking, what was it, like 70 points? Was it like 70? Yeah, 70 points. Well, Bubbleman full combo on like when the score was like 5-6 for him, and then he's like hard carried his team on me and you, Hard Rock, and then he hard carried on tiebreaker, and then went to bracket reset, and then we were just like, oh dude, it's doomed for us. 2017 flashbacks, and then we ended up winning the bracket reset, but 2018, yeah, that was another interesting year. Failed scores also, okay, I'm pretty sure we ended up losing some map to failed score. Not as severely, I think like Toy ended up failing some map that he was like seeing or something. Very cool game, but yeah, okay, real quick to finish the story. Basically, 2019 World Cup, that team was literally not fair. Okay, like that was basically the Vaxa Idki show, except like everyone else on the team was also really good, and we basically swept that entire tournament. So that was very interesting. I was also on the 2019 team, but like I pretty much had like no purpose on that team. I feel like, because like I was there to like fill in for like stuff that my team couldn't play, but my team could already play everything. So I was just like, all right, hey guys, you guys, like, you know, go team, let's go. But yeah, 2019, and then personally 2020 I did not play the World Cup. I was very busy, very busy boy in those months. I was playing Teamfight Tactics, and just really did not have time to play Osu. Yeah, but really, I think I just wasn't motivated that much to play the World Cup in 2020, especially compared to some people who had like, well, for one, were much more motivated than me, and then also had never played the World Cup before. So it's like, I could have fought for my spot on the team, but also like, I didn't really want to. Was not really that motivated to play that year, and I think the rest of the team sort of agreed with like me not really being on the team in 2020, and I was like, yeah, I don't really care. So I was like, yeah, you know, go team. So yeah, 2020 I did not play, and team ended up winning. That was very, very wholesome. And then now 2021, I am, as I mentioned earlier, like I changed my avatar actually. So my current avatar is actually the World Cup collab, basically, where we all have matching avatars. You can see that's why the United States flag is there, and the Hollow Knight avatar collab. But yeah, personally, my experience with the World Cups, so starting in 2019, I think, like the organization, I'm pretty sure like Locked have sort of stepped down from organization. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 2018. But then, ever since then, the organization for the World Cup has been more and more like community members actually hosting the World Cup rather than like official staff members of OSU or like global moderators or whatever, which honestly has been a very, very positive change. I'm pretty sure there's have been no complaints about that. So, yeah, I think that is largely my experiences with the World Cup as a sort of quick overview. I ended up spending most of the time talking about 2017, but you know what? Okay, all right, listen, guys. You see this? You see the second place? I wear this with pride, knowing that this literally it shouldn't have happened. Okay, but I digress. Okay. Anyway, yes. Oh, and speaking of profile badges, by the way, I'm doing a episode very soon on the topic of profile badges. So look forward to that very soon. If you're not really sure what exactly these are, but yes, anyway, with that, it's going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys for listening all the way to the end, my little ramble about my experience with some of the World Cups. But yes, if you have suggestions for future topics, please leave your suggestions in the comment section, because I do read all the comments on these videos. And if you are watching in the future, please check out my channel, watch my other videos, because I have a lot of videos over on my channel that you can explore. But yes, other than that, check out my Twitch streams. Like I mentioned, I stream every single day. Be very happy to have you all hang out with me. But with that, I'll see you guys next time.